Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our next session on ABAP learning series. So today we are going to discuss about the reports in ABAP. Okay, how you can write a new program in ABAP based on whatever we have discussed on our previous classes, right? So without any further delay, let's start our session. So if you have been through my previous videos, you must have known how to create a program, right? So you need to create a program. Keyboard is SC38. Okay, so this is the first screen and all the programs must starts with Z or Y. Okay, so give a name, then click on the create button. Then on the pop-up you have to give the description of the program, then you need to select the type of program. Okay, so in our case, as we are creating the reports, the program type should always be executable program. Then select the executable program from the drop down and then click on save. So your program will be created. Okay, so before going to the requirement, okay, let's understand what we are going to create. Okay, so in SAP there are consider these two tables we are using to extract the data from these two tables and display in our report output. Okay, so first you understand this is the flight schedule table. Okay, so here you will have this carrier ID and then connection ID, then from city to city, and arrival time, departure time, all these informations. Okay, then in our next table is flight table. This will have the flight informations like the carrier ID, connection ID, and flight date, price, and price in different currency, the plane type, maximum seats and occupied seats. All these informations you will be getting in the flight table, right? But our requirement is to get the complete information regarding the flights, that is carrier ID, connection ID, and from where to where the flight is running, and the price of the flight, means price of the tickets, then currency, then the plane type or seats occupied and maximum number of seats. All these informations we need in our output. Okay, so in that case we need to select data from these two tables, then we need to combine the data or format the data, and then in the output we need to display the data. Okay, now let's say coming to the data declaration. Okay, so whenever you are creating a report, the first statement is automatically generated. Okay, without this statement your SAP will not understand the program. So whenever you create a program, you will find the report and the program name is the first statement. Okay, so let it be there. Now your requirement is to get data from this table and from this table. Okay, that means you have to declare a variable of type internal table which can hold multiple rows of data from this table. Okay, similarly for this table you have to create an internal table which can hold multiple rows of data from this table. Right, so if you come to this, so here you can see data statement, then in the second line lt underscore flight type table of S flight. So S flight is this table and it is created in SE11. Okay, so we already discussed how we are creating the tables in database table, right? as the SFlight is already created in the database, you can directly use in any of your above program. Okay, if you have forgotten this concept, then please refer to my previous previous videos. Okay, so we have created this in our database table, so that is why we can use this as a type. Okay, so here I am using LT flight type table of SFlight. Similarly, LT SPFLI type table of this table. Okay, that means we have two internal tables of type this table and this table, right? Yeah, I think now it is very much visible, right? Now coming to this screen, right? So we have to combine data from this table, from both of these tables, right? Let it be 150%. Okay, so in this case we don't need all the fields or all the informations from this table, as well as we don't need all the information from this table. Okay, so if you see, I think this is better. Okay, so if you see this, right, so we don't need all the fields from this table SPFLI, and we don't need all the fields from SFlight table as well. Okay, so we need a different type of data which can have some fields from this table and some fields from this table. Okay, so that is why here we are declaring a types. Okay, if you don't know how to declare a type, please refer to my previous videos. Okay, so we are declaring a type begin of ty flight details. Okay, and here if you see this carrier id, connection id, country from, city from, airport from, country to, city to, airport to, all this you can see in this table. Okay, whether if you see this FL date, price, currency, seats, all this information you can find in the SFlight table. Okay, so here I have created a type ty underscore flight underscore det, which have all the required fields from both of these tables. Okay, now here I have declared a structure ls underscore flight underscore details type this ty SFlight and det. Okay, and I have declared internal table as well of type ty flight det, right? So why I have declared an internal table? Because this tables, okay, this table and this table, this table and this table has multiple rows of data, and when you combine this data also, the result output would be multiple rows of data, and to hold the multiple rows of data we must define an internal table. Okay, so that is why I have defined a local table or internal table lt underscore flight underscore det type table of this structure ty underscore flight underscore det, right? So, and for this internal tables flight and SFlight, we have created the internal table flight and internal table SPFLI, as well as we have created structures also for these two tables. Okay, ls underscore flight, ls underscore spfli. Okay, so now I think everyone is understood the data declaration section. Okay, so that is why I have put everything under this data declaration section. Okay, this is the comment, and you know how to put a comment in your ABAP codes. Okay, now coming to our second section, that is data selection. Okay, so here we have these two tables and we need to select the data from both of these tables. Okay, so you know how to write select statement. So when we are selecting all the fields from the table, then we can use star. Okay, so here I have written select star from this spfli table into table. You can see lt underscore spfli. So lt, t stands for table. Okay, you can give any name, but just for understanding I have put lt. So when you say lt underscore spfli, right, you have, so you understand that this is an internal table. Okay, similarly you need to select all the details from this table, that means split table. So for that also you have another select statement, select star from split into table, here internal table name lt underscore split. Okay, so now you have selected whatever the data you need, you have selected from the database. Okay, so that ends your data selection section. Now coming to the third section is data processing. So here what you need to do, you need to combine the data from both of these tables, okay, to your third internal, to your result. Okay, because your result should be having the columns from both the tables. Okay, so your result should be under lt underscore flight underscore detail type table of, okay, this internal table you have to put all the data. Okay, so now how you will do that? So first you need to sort both the internal tables, because if you don't sort, you will not able to search any record. Okay, you have to use linear search and that will take a lot of time, but when you sort it, by default it will go with the binary search. Okay, so coming to it, so first thing is we have sorted both the internal tables. Okay, so how you will pass those information to your output internal table or the final internal table. Okay, so for that, first you need to read each line of this spfli table. Okay, so when you read each line of spfli table, then you need a structure, because structure can have only one record. Okay, that is the reason we have declared this ls underscore spfli structure. Okay, so, and if you see, this table has this carrier id and connection id fields, and this table also has this carrier id and connection id field, right? That means for a record in this table, there is a record in this table as well, right? So in that case, we need to first get a first record or a single record from this table, and you need to find the relevant record from this table, okay, for this carrier id and connection id, right? And then all these informations you can pass to the respective fields of the structure ls flight details, because ls underscore flight underscore det is our final structure, right, is our output structure. Okay, let's see how it is being done. So when you write loop at lt underscore spfli into ls underscore spfli, and here it is end loop. Okay, that means for when the loop runs for the first time, the first record will go to ls underscore spfli. Then you are reading table lt underscore split. This is your second internal table, okay, which has the data from split table, okay, into the structure of split, okay, because you have this one record in ls underscore spfli, and based on that record you need to read the data from the split internal table, okay, and comparing the key fields, that is carrier id, con id, okay, and this carrier id of this split internal table would be compared with the structure spfli carrier id. Similarly, con id would be compared with the structure of ls underscore spfli con id, okay. And now if size sub rc equal to 0, so this is a system field. Whenever the previous line of code is successfully executed, this size sub rc value would be 0, okay. So that is why, so that means this read table statement has found a match for the record ls underscore spfli, okay. So once you have found this, so the first record details is in structure ls underscore spfli, okay. So the carrier id, con id, country details, means from city to city, from country to country, all this informations belongs to this spfli, okay. So here if you see, the output structure fields has been assigned to ls underscore spfli care id, con id, city from, city to, okay, all these informations. Now if you see the other fields like FL date, price, currency, seats maximum, allocated seats, all those informations are belongs to this table split, okay. So that is why when you go to the data processing, you can see those fields has been assigned with the structure split, okay. Now once all the fields of the output structure has been assigned, the structure has been added to the internal table, because internal table can have multiple records, right? So we have added this record to our output internal table, then we are clearing whatever the data in that output structure, because the loop is going for the second time and this data should be emptied, right? Again for the second loop, all these informations are being followed, okay. And by the time this loop ends, all the records has been transferred to your output internal table, okay. Now coming to your data output sections, you are looking into your output internal table, that is lt underscore flight underscore det into a structure ls underscore flight underscore det. Then you are using write statement to write it in the output, okay. So now, so each field you have to write, okay. So first of all, field 1, field 2, field 3, field 3, field 4, field 5, field 6, field 7, field 7, 8. So all these are being written, okay. So now you have complete understanding of the 4 sections of your program, right? Now let's see, how the program works, okay, how it is, okay. What I'm thinking, let's not make this session lengthy, okay. In our next session we will write this program and we will see how the program execution happens, and how the output is being displayed. Okay, so I hope I will see you all on our next session. Thank you. Till then, take care. Bye.